Only 3 in 10 Americans think Robert Kennedy Jr. is a good pick for Health and Human Services Secretary. And today, when Kennedy went to Capitol Hill, his wife, actress Cheryl Hines, was right there with him.
Finally, an expose beyond the headlines. Robert F. Kennedy Jr. has been at the center of many controversies. Yet, despite the scandals surrounding his marriage to Cheryl Hines, they've built a family that constantly draws public attention. But is their love story truly as beautiful as it seems? And how have their children turned out despite the ongoing scrutiny? Join us as we dissect the hidden details of the love story between RFK Jr., Cheryl Hines, and their 6 amazing kids. Another love story. In the spotlight, Robert F. Kennedy Jr. and actress Cheryl Hines have been married since 2014 after 3 years of dating. Their story began in 2006 when they first met at a fundraising event. At the time, RFK Jr. was still married to his then-wife, Mary Richardson. However, after separating, he reconnected with Cheryl in 2012, and they soon started dating. Before Cheryl, RFK Jr. had been married twice. His first wife was Emily Ruth Black, whom he met while studying law at the University of Virginia. They married in 1982 and had 2 children, Robert Bobby Kennedy III and Kathleen Kick Kennedy. After more than a decade together, their marriage came to an end in 1994. RFK Jr. began dating Mary Richardson, an interior designer and philanthropist, not long after his divorce. She co-founded the Food Allergy Initiative, a major fund supporting food allergy research in the United States. They married in 1994 and had 4 children: Connor, Kyra, Aiden, and William Finn Kennedy. Their marriage lasted for 16 years before they separated in 2010. 2 years later, in 2012, tragedy struck when Mary died by suicide, leaving behind their 4 children.
Today, for the estranged wife of Robert F. Kennedy Jr., she was found dead on Wednesday in her home.
Mary Kennedy had fought drug and alcohol problems for years. The couple was in the middle of a divorce.
Pressing further, RFK Jr. found love again with Cheryl Hines a year later, and they tied the knot in 2014. However, recent reports suggest that their marriage may be facing challenges. In September 2024, Cheryl was seen without her wedding ring, leading to speculation that she was ending their relationship. Rumors also surfaced that RFK Jr. was involved with journalist Olivia Nuzzi, though Cheryl has not publicly responded to the claims. While Cheryl has a daughter, Catherine Rose, from her first marriage, she and RFK Jr. do not have children together. Beyond his marriages, RFK Jr. has been linked to multiple women over the years. In 2014, reports surfaced that he had a long list of female contacts in his phone, all saved under the letter G. His late ex-wife, Mary Richardson, once revealed that the G stood for groomer, an Italian slang word for mistress. A New York Magazine report claimed this list included names like Cheryl Hines and Chelsea Chapman Kerwin. Insiders alleged that RFK Jr. had relationships with multiple women, with connections in cities like Toronto, Paris, Alaska, Aspen, Miami, Cleveland, Palm Beach, and many more. With such a complicated romantic history, RFK Jr.'s life continues to be as talked about as his political career. Will his marriage with Cheryl Hines withstand the latest wave of rumors? Has it always been this way? Digging deeper into history, Cheryl Hines and Robert F. Kennedy Jr. have been thrust into the national spotlight as Kennedy campaigns for the presidency in 2024. Despite the intense public scrutiny, the couple has managed to keep their personal life largely private. While many Americans speculate about how their seemingly different worldviews align, Hines and Kennedy have stood firmly by each other's side. Kennedy comes from one of America's most iconic political families. As the son of a former presidential candidate, Robert F. Kennedy, and the nephew of President John F. Kennedy, he has a legacy to live up to. However, he has carved out his own path, focusing on environmental activism and now a presidential bid. The couple's love story began in 2006 when Curb Your Enthusiasm creator Larry David introduced Hines to Kennedy.
And another incredible aspect about that is Larry is actually the guy who sort of directly introduced you to.
He did.
During a ski weekend fundraiser for the Waterkeeper Alliance, an environmental organization Kennedy founded. Interestingly, Hines hadn't planned to ski that weekend, but Kennedy convinced her to hit the slopes. At the time, both were married to other people, so they didn't reconnect until several years later. In late 2011, they began dating, but kept their relationship under wraps until 2012. Their public appearances at events like the Sundance Film Festival and the Riverkeepers Fisherman's Ball sparked rumors, which they eventually confirmed. By April 2014, they were engaged, announcing the news at Muhammad Ali's Celebrity Fight Night in Phoenix. Hines gushed about their shared values, saying, "Family first. We like to have a good time and work hard." Their wedding took place in August 2014 at the Kennedy family compound in Hyannisport, Massachusetts. The ceremony was a star-studded affair, with guests like Larry David, Julia Louis-Dreyfus, and Kevin Nealon in attendance. The couple's union seemed to combine Hollywood glamour with political legacy, creating a unique dynamic that fascinated the public. In 2023, Kennedy revealed that he had considered staging a fake separation to shield Hines from the media frenzy surrounding his controversial statements and presidential campaign. He even drafted a press release announcing their split, but Hines refused to go along with it. She told the New York Times, "I haven't lost any jobs because of my support for his candidacy," emphasizing her unwavering support for her husband. Hines has been vocal about backing Kennedy's presidential run. In April 2023, she released a statement saying, "My husband, Robert Kennedy Jr., announced today he will be running for president, and I support his decision. He is a fearless leader who understands the needs of the American people." Despite ongoing speculation about their relationship, the couple celebrated their 10th wedding anniversary in August 2024. Hines marked the occasion with an emotional Instagram post, sharing a throwback photo from their wedding day and expressing her love and admiration for Kennedy. Before tying the knots with Robert Kennedy, Cheryl's friends had their reservations regarding him. What exactly did they think of their union, and why were they against it? What the heart wants. Cheryl Hines' friends were baffled when she decided to marry Robert F. Kennedy Jr. They couldn't understand why she would commit to a man with a history of scandals, and their concerns only deepened when rumors surfaced about his alleged affair with journalist Olivia Nuzzi. Kennedy, however, firmly denied the claims, saying he had only met Nuzzi once for an interview. The controversy exploded when Nuzzi reportedly admitted to her bosses that she had a personal relationship with someone connected to the 2024 campaign. As a result, she was placed on leave, and New York Magazine launched an internal review. Though they found no evidence of bias in her reporting, they acknowledged that she had violated ethical standards by not disclosing the relationship. Hines and Kennedy married in August 2014, but concerns about their relationship started long before that. Author Jerry Oppenheimer, in his book about Kennedy, revealed that Hines' friends warned her against marrying him. Kennedy's reputation as a womanizer was well known, and Oppenheimer described his romantic history as one that any woman entering his life should be fully aware of. Kennedy's past relationships fueled the skepticism. Before Hines, he was married twice. His marriage to Richardson ended in tragedy, but not before being rocked by reports of infidelity. Meanwhile, Hines had been married to Paul Young, with whom she shares a daughter. The warning signs were there even before their wedding. Just months before they tied the knot, Kennedy was linked to socialite Chelsea Chapman Kerwin. Despite the speculation, Hines went forward with the marriage, seemingly unfazed by his history. Adding to the controversy, Kennedy's cousin made headlines by calling him a predator, a label that intensified public scrutiny.
I've known Bobby my whole life. We grew up together. It's no surprise that he keeps birds of prey as pets, because Bobby himself is a predator.
Though Kennedy dismissed the accusation, the comment reinforced doubts about his character and past behavior. As for Nutsi, she later admitted that her relationship with Kennedy should have been disclosed earlier. While she insisted it was never physical, she acknowledged that it created a conflict of interest. She publicly apologized, particularly to her colleagues, for not being more transparent. Despite the swirling rumors and public scrutiny, Hines and Kennedy remain together. How have the kids survived public scrutiny? Life as a Kennedy. Robert F. Kennedy Jr.'s children have lived diverse and fascinating lives, each carving out their own unique paths. Some of them stood by his side when he launched his 2024 presidential campaign in April 2023.
President Biden is getting some competition for the Democratic nomination from one of the most powerful names in American politics. Robert F. Kennedy Jr. has filed his paperwork with the Federal Election Commission to run for president.
But after dropping out of the race, he was nominated by Donald Trump to become the next Secretary of Health.
Robert F. Kennedy Jr.
The independent presidential candidate and possible election spoiler, now a supporter of former President Donald Trump.
As his Senate confirmation hearing began, a source revealed that the family was struggling with internal tensions. Among his children, Robert Francis Bobby Kennedy III, born in 1984, was the first to carry on the family name. Growing up, he stayed mostly out of the spotlight, but occasionally appeared at public events, such as the 2000 Democratic National Convention alongside his father. After graduating from Brown University, he co-founded a now-defunct political fact-checking website, meritocracy.com. Despite an early interest in politics, Bobby shifted gears to focus on creative pursuits. He wrote and starred in the 2013 film Eurotrapped, directed a one-act play, and later worked on a film about Hunter S. Thompson's 1970 campaign for sheriff. He married former CIA officer Amaryllis Fox in 2017, and the couple now shares 2 children, along with Fox's daughter, from a previous relationship. His younger sister, Kathleen Alexandra Kick Kennedy, was born in 1988 and inherited her nickname from her great-aunt. Known for her energetic and rebellious spirit, she grew up surrounded by animals on her family's property. She pursued history and theater at Stanford University, while also engaging in activism, including raising awareness about the world's water crisis. Her passion for environmental issues led her to create an IMAX documentary with her father, focusing on the Colorado River. She also explored acting, landing roles in Curb Your Enthusiasm and Gossip Girl before studying at the Lee Strasberg Institute. Over the years, Kick has balanced philanthropy with writing, contributing to various publications while documenting her travels on social media. In 1994, Connor Richardson Kennedy was born. His life took a tragic turn in 2012 when his mother died by suicide, an event that attracted intense media attention.
Late today, we learned of yet another loss. Mary Kennedy, the estranged wife of Robert Kennedy Jr. The details are still streaming in, and ABC's John Berman is here.
That same year, he briefly dated Taylor Swift, which thrust him further into the public eye. Despite these challenges, Connor dedicated himself to activism, joining his father in protests and even getting arrested for civil disobedience. In 2022, he shocked many by secretly joining Ukraine's International Legion to fight against the Russian invasion, keeping his mission a secret from most of his family.
And so he went to the Ukrainian embassy and he signed up for the Foreign Legion, and he's been fighting over in the Ukraine for the last couple of months. He's part of he was part of a special forces unit.
Afterward, he returned to law school at Georgetown and later got engaged to Brazilian singer Julia Bay. Kira Lemoyne Kennedy, born in 1995, grew up with a love for fashion, interning for Dior and Kenneth Cole before studying at the Fashion Institute of Technology. She became known as part of New York's elite Snap Pack, a group of wealthy socialites. Though she faced some controversy, she remained in the fashion world and kept a close bond with her family. William Finbar Finn Kennedy, born in 1997, chose a quieter path, focusing on environmental conservation. While attending Brown University, he participated in a National Geographic documentary, Swimming with Dolphins near a marine reserve established by his great-uncle, President John F. Kennedy. Passionate about climate change, Finn also spoke at a White House Innovation Summit on its impact on the ski industry. The youngest, Aidan Kauman Vieques Kennedy, was born in 2001 under unusual circumstances. His father was serving a 30-day prison sentence for protesting U.S. military bombings in Vieques, Puerto Rico, which inspired his middle name. He later attended Harvard University, pursued political internships, and worked briefly in finance. Together, the Kennedy children have built lives filled with activism, creativity, and adventure, staying true to their family's legacy while forging their own paths. While there have been rumors of an underlying tension, Cheryl has finally opened up about everything. What did she reveal? Going with the flow. Cheryl Hines is riding a wave of emotions as her husband, Robert F. Kennedy Jr., aligns himself with President-elect Donald Trump, stepping into a new and controversial chapter of his career. Their marriage has been the talk of the town since September, when rumors swirled that Kennedy had developed a personal relationship with a reporter during his 2024 presidential campaign.
And then she came back in 2011, and both of us were separated. And I, had got a crush on her on that weekend, so I knew I wanted to date her.
The news hit Hines hard, leaving her deeply hurt and questioning the future of their relationship. Cheryl was ready to file for divorce weeks ago, a source revealed to *people*. She felt he publicly humiliated her. The insider explained that while the couple's future remains uncertain, Hines is trying to go with the flow as Kennedy transitions into his new role as Trump's nominee for Secretary of Health and Human Services. Kennedy reportedly asked Hines to hold off on any major decisions until after the election to avoid distractions. Now, with Trump's victory, Hines is making the best of the situation, even though she wasn't thrilled about Kennedy joining the Trump administration. She loves Bobby, the source added, emphasizing her enduring affection for him. The couple's relationship has been a roller coaster, with Hines caught between her love for Kennedy and the public fallout from his actions. Another source, a political friend of Hines, suggested that if she stays with Kennedy, her friends in Los Angeles might view her differently. Cheryl was livid over the reports that her husband was involved with the political reporter. The source said, "If she stays with Bobby now that Trump has won, some may see it as her chasing fame or being part of the inner circle. Others might even call her a traitor." Despite the drama, Hines has shown support for Kennedy in public. Recently, she accompanied him to an event at Mar-a-Lago, Trump's luxurious Florida estate. There, she played the role of a supportive wife, smiling and standing by Kennedy's side. A source noted, "It's obvious she doesn't lean right or left." RFK Jr. is her political belief. This statement highlights the complexity of their relationship, as Hines, known for her liberal views, seems to be putting her personal feelings aside to stand by her husband. The couple's journey has been anything but ordinary. Hines and Kennedy have faced their fair share of challenges. From rumors of infidelity to political controversies, their marriage has been tested repeatedly. Yet Hines has chosen to stay by Kennedy's side, at least for now, as he embarks on this new political venture. Friends and observers are watching closely to see how this story unfolds. Will Hines continue to support Kennedy despite the turmoil? Or will the strain of public scrutiny and personal betrayal become too much to bear? For now, Hines seems to be taking things one day at a time, balancing her love for Kennedy with the complexities of their high-profile lives. Let's discuss some of the controversial situations Robert Kennedy has recently found himself in. Controversies surrounding RFK Jr. Robert F. Kennedy Jr.'s recent claim that President John F. Kennedy was a predator has sparked a firestorm of controversy. During a podcast interview, he made this shocking statement, which has led to intense debate and forced people to question the truth behind the accusation. It also raises bigger questions about the Kennedy family's legacy and how society talks about misconduct. This situation is complicated, and it's important to understand the context, look at history, and think about the ethics of making such a serious claim. RFK Jr.'s comment didn't come out of nowhere. He was discussing his family's history, the abuse of power, and how powerful people sometimes behave badly. He seemed to want to show a more realistic picture of his uncle, suggesting that even admired figures can have dark sides. However, he didn't provide any specific evidence or details to back up his claim that JFK was a predator. This lack of proof has led to a lot of questions. Calling someone a predator is a serious accusation, and it implies a pattern of abusive behavior. Without evidence, it's hard to know what to make of the claim. When we look at history, there are many books and stories about JFK's life and presidency, but there's no clear evidence to support RFK Jr.'s claim. JFK was known for his charm and charisma, and he had many affairs during his life. Some of these relationships might be seen as exploitative because of the power imbalance between him and the women involved. However, having affairs is not the same as being a predator. To call someone a predator, there needs to be evidence of coercion, abuse, or a pattern of harmful behavior. So far, that evidence hasn't been presented, and the media frenzy around the claim often ignores this important distinction. It's also tricky to judge historical figures by today's standards. Society's views on intimate behavior have changed a lot since the 1960s. What was considered normal or tolerated back then might be seen as completely unacceptable now. This makes it hard to fairly judge JFK's actions without applying modern ideas to a different time. At the same time, this doesn't mean we should ignore bad behavior. It's important to look at history honestly, but we also need to be careful not to judge the past too harshly without understanding the context. Accusations of predatory behavior are very serious. They can ruin reputations and hurt families. That's why such claims need to be backed up by solid evidence and handled carefully. RFK Jr.'s statement, while possibly meant to challenge the idealized image of JFK, doesn't have the proof needed to support such a heavy accusation. Without evidence, the claim can lead to speculation and misinformation, which can be harmful. RFK Jr.'s relationship with his uncle and the Kennedy family's legacy likely influenced his comments. He might be trying to show a more complete picture of JFK, one that includes both his achievements and his flaws. But this approach needs to be balanced with facts and respect for the truth. A fair assessment of any historical figure should acknowledge their strengths and weaknesses, but it should also be based on evidence, not just speculation. This controversy ties into the larger discussion about power, privilege, and misconduct. Movements like #MeToo have brought attention to abuse and exploitation, encouraging people to rethink how they see historical figures. This is an important shift, but it also requires careful handling. Do you think their marriage is hanging on by a thread? How do their children remain unaffected, regardless of the entire controversies? Share your thoughts with us in the comment section. Remember to like, share, and subscribe for more. Also, click the next video showing on your screen. You will enjoy it.